special day, not just for me, but I see a lot of greatness in this room. And I want you guys to think about the first time you had a dream. Right? They say that dreams are given to us at a very young age. Scientists haven't been able to come up with a conclusion, but researchers say that babies, they can begin to dream in their mother's womb. And others argue the fact that we can begin to dream when our brains are a little more mature, between the ages of 5 and 7. But I want you guys to think about your dream. Seriously, think about that for a moment. And I want you to really picture yourself at that moment of success. Now, I'm not talking about the dream that your mom woke you up from today. I'm not talking about the dream that felt so real, you woke up with so much ambition only to realize it wasn't true. No, you're not dating the guy you got a crush on. No. Or you didn't win $1 million either. But I'm talking about that life dream. The dream that expresses your deepest hope, passion, and desire. A lot of people don't believe in those types of dreams. But here's what I say. I say that at any moment, at any age, that dream can burst into a sensation. See, my dog Flash, he's a dreamer. He's 7 years old, and somehow he manages to eat crayons and poop rainbows. And Justin Bieber, he became an iconic figure at the age of 12. Walt Disney, at 22, he opened Walt Disney Studios, which is now a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. And Martin Luther King, at 34, he gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken, he was well in his 60s before he successfully opened the food chain, KFC. If you can dream it, I'm here to tell you today it's possible. I remember the first time I had a dream. I was in the 6th grade. I wasn't much taller than what I am today, so I was about 5'5", 115 pounds, soaking wet. And I hadn't even had hair on my arms, not even my first pimple, but I made the track team. And okay, we all know there's no tryouts in track and field, but I was on the team though. And in that second week of practice, I decided I wasn't gonna show up. I said I was gonna play intramural basketball with some of my friends, so we're out on the court, fall weather in Virginia Beach, perfect. And I'm yelling down the court, hey, I'm open, pass me the ball, I'm open. And everybody stopped, they look at me strange. They said, I was like, what's going on? And I see this big, tall shadow casting over me. And as I turn around, it's my track coach. And he says, what are you doing, son? I said, I'm playing basketball. And he says, don't you know we have practice over there? I said, yes, sir. And he says, well, now I'm going to embarrass you. First of all, y'all, I'll tell you this. If anybody tell you I'm going to embarrass you in front of your friends, chances are you are already embarrassed. And after this 2-minute spiel of interrupting our game and telling me why I was making a poor decision, he said, now go get your butt on that track and catch up with the rest of them. And he stopped me and he said, I'm going to ask you a question. He said, what do you want to do with your life? And I said to him, sir, I want to run for the USA. And I wasn't crying because I was so passionate about the question he asked me. I was crying because I was embarrassed. I mean, he embarrassed me in front of all my friends. Like, I was playing basketball. And he says, now go catch up with the rest of them. And I run as fast as I can. I run with everything inside of me. And before I make it halfway there, he yells, stop! I said, hey, what now? What do you want me to do now? And he says, run like that again. So I gather myself. I run as fast as I can. I run with everything inside of me. And guess what he yells again, y'all? He yells, stop! I said, Lord. Okay, I run back. I come back. He said, now go do it again. And I run with everything inside of me, God. I run as fast as I can, and before he opens his mouth, I open mine and I yell, stop! I can't take it anymore. What's the point, man? Why do you want me to do this? And he says, the moment you have a dream, don't forget to chase after it. See, a lot of times we have dreams, but we're afraid to chase after them. And as I look around this room today, I see your finish line. I'm looking at the next leaders of the world, guys. But in order for you to get there, you have to chase after your dream. So I want you to repeat after me, guys. Today is the day. Today is the day. My dream has been asleep. Long enough. I'm ready. Come on, say it. I'm ready. I'm set. And I'm chasing after it. Come on, guys. Give yourself a round of applause. This is the moment that you all been waiting for. And I want to give you a few tools that's going to help you chase after your dream. And that first thing is you got to accept the process. Now for this part, I want to bring a few people on stage. Actually, we have about 4 cups. And so I want to get 8 people on stage. Anybody want to participate in this right here? So I got 1 in the center here, 2, 3 over here. Yeah, with the black blazer on. Let me get some back here. Yeah, you with the, yep, right there. How many is that? Come on, let's do it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I get somebody back there? With their hand up? I need some guys. 1. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another guy standing down. Boom, right there. Come on. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's good. Give them a round of applause, guys. All right, you guys can come on the stage. This is gonna be fun. You guys having a good time? Are you guys having a good time? All right, they say the votes are in, so we're gonna come over here. All right. Okay. So there are 4 cups of water here, and honestly, we're gonna have 1 team, 2 partners for each one. Okay. All right. So get your teams together. All right, sure, there it is. I don't know you, girl, but can you be on my team? All right. There's a cup here, there's a cup here, and a cup here. Okay, so each team gets 1 water bottle. You can start here, okay? All right, so the rules are very simple. You can only listen to my voice, okay? Now, the finish line is right here. That line, this is the finish line. And you must pass your cup to your teammate and make it back to your starting point. First person to do that wins, okay? The second rule is, with your cup of water, you gotta fill your cup to the brim with your bottle, all right? Now, I'll tell you when. Everybody starts on the table, okay? 1 player from each team starts, okay? You pass your cup to your teammate after that, okay? The rule is very simple, guys. If you spill the water, you have to start over, okay? You have to start over and you have to fill your water back up to the brim of your cup. All right, ready, set, go. If you spill your water, you got to start over and fill it back up to the brim. You got to all the way up to the brim. Oh, you spilled it. You need to fill yours up a little more, huh? Oh, you spilled it. I saw it. Fill yours up a little more. Fill it up a little more. Come on. Are you nervous? Fill it up to the brim. Oh, she spilled the water. What's the encouragement, guys? Come on. Did he spill it? Who spilled it? All right, come on, let's go. Whoa. Where? Okay, come on. What's the other team? Oh, she's walking pretty fast. Oh, steady. Uh-oh. Oh, I saw the spill. Where's the NBA music? Oh, she has to start over. We're gonna close this in 30 seconds, guys. So let me get a countdown from the audience.
30, 29, 28.
Whoa, still?
26.
Yeah, yes.
24, 32, 21, 20.
Oh! Come on!
16, 14, 13, 12, 11.
Oh! 7,
9, 8, 7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, give them a round of applause, guys. We made a mess a little bit. All right, guys, you can take your seats. Congratulations, good job. And some of you guys, you can take some of the water if you want. Yeah, you can drink it. Give them a round of applause, guys. All right. Come on, give them one more round of applause. You know, I love doing this game in conferences. It's quite entertaining. But there's one strategy that wins every single time. But I love watching people wincing in fear, eyes fixated on this cup of water, walking as slow as a snail. And then there's this sprinting daredevil who tries to defy physics and spill it every time, right? Right here. Let me tell you guys, how easy would it be if you just took that cup of water and you drank it? With nothing holding you back. Here's the analogy with that. As often as we have dreams, and we look at those things very often, we must have a thirst to finish what we start. Before you start working on your goal, you should already have made up in your mind that you're going to be on this relentless pursuit to finish regardless of how tough things might get. And a part of accepting your process is understanding this. It's going to be extremely uncomfortable. But in the uncomfortable, it challenges you not to be content with where you are, but be a contender to get to where you want to be. Now, have you ever seen a sprinter get down into the starting blocks, guys? It looks extremely unorthodox. Any runners in here? Good. Now, when a sprinter gets down, their body is jumbled up. But let me tell you, for a sprinter, it is estimated that about 1/10 of a second is shaved off their time. And 1/10 of a second, that can be a difference between a world record and losing a race. Now, why is this important for you? Because getting uncomfortable can be the difference between you failing and winning. You see, one thing I know, it was Winston Churchill that said, if you're going through hell, keep going. And that doesn't mean to look at a new year or your birthday like you made it, right? It means you go through the middle part. You go through that pain. You go through those hours of staying up late and trying to get that job done. Maya Angelou said that I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. So if it's you who feels like, I'm in this corner, I've been backed up against this wall and punches are thrown at me, oh my gosh, to the point of making me vomit, I need you guys to do one thing. I need you to put your dukes back up. Because there's a fighter in you in the uncomfortable. I need you guys to say this part with me. Say this part with me right here. I am a fighter. And I'm going to win. My mom used to tell me, keep fighting, son, you're going to win. And I remember, I was in elementary school. And I was held back. I watched my friends go on to the second grade without me. I was put in remedial classes, made fun of because of my academic challenges. But I found something I was really gifted in, which was track in middle school, as you guys know. And I would start winning state championship titles and national championship titles in high school. I had hundreds of letters pouring in from colleges and universities. But once I sent my transcripts into those schools, they said, you're not good enough for our school. And they would hang up the phone. And I was left behind. I watched everyone go on to college. I mean, I'm stuck back at home with my mom, guys. Nobody wants to do that. And there I was. I kept believing somehow that I can persevere in this moment, that God is taking me through this path for a reason. And I would study every single day, much like you guys. And I would take that test in September. and I failed it by 120 points. I'm talking about the SAT and the ACT. And I took the test in October. I'm walking in there with confidence, and I failed it again. And you know, third time's the charm. I've seen this on movies. It has to be me. I'm going into the testing site, and I failed it again by 60 points. And the last time I could take it was in December, and to pretty much go to any college I wanted to go to. And there's no better feeling than giving it everything you got, guys, and passing that test by 1 point. See, your greatest comeback happens in your setbacks. See, many people would say, Charles, there's no way you can come back from this deficit. But in the uncomfortable, a kid who had failure and setbacks written all over his life would graduate from Florida State University to make the dean's list. In the uncomfortable, guys. Out of 6.8 billion people in the world, I became the 6th fastest man in the world. And in the uncomfortable, this year, I would write and publish my own book. I'm telling you guys, all you gotta do is get uncomfortable and keep fighting. The next thing, guys, I wanna tell you, you got to plan for the big thinking, all right? Plan for the big thinking. Have the ability to see things on every level is the ability to have a clear vision. You're working towards something. So write down those goals, but also, what can I do? What can I actually do on a daily, a weekly, and a monthly basis? Apply those things in your life. And the next thing is realize that there is purpose in your life. You find purpose in the act of what you do for others, far greater than what you can do for yourself. When I was 23, I was dealing with a debilitating injury in my track career. I lost 15 pounds. I was depressed, desperate, looking for a way out. And like most college students in their 20s, I decided I was going to move back home with my mom. And I pondered over this question that would change my life fate. I said, if I could change one event in my life, what would that moment be? And I vividly remember that day. I would unceremoniously just kick it to the curb and act like it never existed. And that was the day I injured myself. And so I found myself being interrupted. And I was opening this blank chapter in my life. I was asked to speak at a high school. It was my alma mater. And after the event, the kids wanted to take some photos with me. And I was like, yeah, cool. You know, selfie mode. I love selfies, y'all. And I saw this teenage girl out in the crowd. And she was desperate to get to me. Maneuvering her way through the crowd, she arrived. And she said something to me that made all those blank pages make sense. She said, thank you. Because my mom said she doesn't care about me. And I don't know my dad. And I felt like killing myself today. But you said something on that stage that made me want to live my dream. And now I'm going to do it. Little did she know, something inside of me woke up. And I realized that maybe there's purpose in pain. That maybe you can find something in those dark times. And I found mine at the edge of an auditorium in a high school. And I realized that it's not about so much winning and getting the gold medal, guys. Because people don't fall in love with heroes. They fall in love with people who would do something bigger than themselves. And never forget that we all have that same capacity and that power to impact people with our words, with our actions, with what we do and how we do it. And I challenge you to do that. If it's speaking to a homeless person, do it cheerfully. If it's volunteering for an organization, do it with compassion. If it's fighting for a cause you believe in, do it shamelessly. Stand up for what you believe in. Let your voice be heard. We all have the power to do that. The next thing I want you guys to understand is you got to hold yourself accountable. When I was coming here to New Jersey, I got in an Uber. Everybody does Uber. And so I got in an Uber, and it was this Jamaican guy. He was like, yeah, man, where do you want to go? And I was like, okay, yeah, take me to this spot. You already know what place I want to go. And he says, what are you doing here? He's looking in the back of the rear view, right? And I was like, I have to come to speak, to a bunch of awesome kids who are like fired up, motivated. He's like, yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, yeah. He said, what are you speaking about? He said, because I want to be a motivational speaker, man. I got a story for you. And we're chatting. I mean, this is a good 45-minute drive. And he says to me, listen, this is the greatest story I know, man. Here's the story. He says, in Africa, there was this guru, and he found this chicken. And, well, actually he found an eagle. It was an eagle. But the eagle became a chicken. He put him in the chicken coop with the rest of them. And he says, well, little did you know, that eagle act like a chicken at the end of the day. He started to bark like a chicken. He started to eat worms like a chicken. He started to pick dirt like a chicken. And his friend comes by and he says, hey man, what are you doing with that eagle in the chicken coop? And he says, no man, that's a chicken. No, don't worry about that, that's a chicken. And he says, no man, let me take this eagle and watch what happens when I put it out the cage. And he says, he looked at the eagle and he says, eagle, you're an eagle. Fly. And you know how they do it on the Discovery Channel? This right here, and the eagle fell right on the ground. And he says, no, it didn't work. He says, and then the guru who says, man, I told you, that's a chicken now. And you know, there's the guy, the Uber guy, he's telling me this, so I'm telling him with a Jamaican accent. And so he says, I'm gonna come back, because this is going to be an eagle. So he comes back the next day, and he tries the same thing. He said, you can try all you want, man. And so he grabs the eagle, puts it back on his wrist again, and he says, eagle, you're an eagle, fly. And he falls again. And at this point, he was like, man, you might as well not come back tomorrow, because he's a chicken now. He eats worms like a chicken, right? He picks dirt like a chicken. He doesn't fly, he's a chicken. And so he says, I'm gonna come back one more time. And so he goes back again, and he grabs that eagle, and he puts it on his arm, and he says, eagle. I think he was practicing this in the mirror a little bit. He says, I need to practice this. Eagle, you're an eagle. Fly. And the eagle looks at the horizon from the sun, and he says that some feeling inside of him just made him feel like I am called for something else, and the eagle took off. Accountability breeds responsibility, guys. Steve Covey says that. See, when you're working towards being better, you're pushing yourself to be great. And I want to challenge you guys to be careful with who you hang around. It's important for you to get around people who's going to encourage you, who's going to motivate you, push you to a whole nother level, who's going to put you up on that arm and say, you're an eagle, soar. And that's you guys. And the next thing I want you guys to understand is that you got to believe that you are an outlier. See, the definition of an outlier is a person who doesn't do things with the commonality of people. They do things different. They have a different stroke. They have a different way they run, right? And so it's important for you to understand that a part of that is having a lot of faith. Here's what I know about faith. It takes a lot of it. And you guys stepping in this room, doing this competition, you got a lot of faith in you. And I want you to know that. See, the size of your faith is going to be the measure of your goal. Remember that. The size of your faith is the measure of your goal. If you have a little faith, you're going to have little goals. But if you have big faith, then you're going to have big goals. Believing you are the outlier, you know that there's something special inside of you that only you can do. There's an impossible thing inside of you that if you look around this room right now, no one can do that thing that you can do. And you can't find that in nobody else. Guys, so listen here closely. Even if you don't know who you are, know that you're called to be somebody. And you can't find that someone looking at the person next to you. You can't find that story in your mom or in your dad. It's in you. It's in your DNA to be the person you're called to be. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with is this. Seize the opportunity. When life gives you lemons, no, don't make no lemonade. You still got work to do. Never mind making lemonade. You still have a mission. Even if you lose today, you still have a mission. Don't forget that, guys. I remember in the 12th grade, no one had sung the singing of the national anthem in over 20 years. And I had a special opportunity. And so it was a sold out crowd, Princess Anne High School versus Bayside High School, my school. And there was no room left on the bleachers, and spectators corralling around the width of the basketball court. And I was a little nervous, much like you guys are today. And with jitters in my stomach, the announcer announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the singing of our national anthem by Bayside's very own Charles Clark." And everyone stood up. I said, I have a standing ovation. So I walk up to the center of the court, and I sang, "Oh, say, can you see the times early light?" And then I cursed in the middle of the national anthem. That prideful, patriotic moment quickly became a video submission to America's Funniest Video. Somebody literally had to take me off the stage, y'all. And I had a phone call. Somebody said, "Man, you are just really dumb." I said, "Mom, it was a mistake." And you know what I said to myself? I said, "I'm never singing the national anthem again." And here's what I realized, guys, that a lot of people, they never serve the intention because of failure. And some never act bold because of fear. But the biggest mistake that you can make is not taking a risk at all. And I remember 3 years after that, I found myself just asking myself, if only I just did this right. Until I found myself center field at the NFL Colts Stadium. It was a sold out crowd. Over 60,000 people in this arena. Don't clap yet, y'all. And along the right index finger, I wrote the right lyrics, guys. I put, "At the twilight's last gleaming." And I may have been cross-eyed the whole time looking at the words in my hand, but I nailed that song, y'all. But here's what I want you to understand, that even if you fail, seize the opportunity. If you stumble, seize the opportunity. Because there's going to be somebody out there who might not show up. And all you got to do is be bold enough to do that part. And that's seizing the opportunity. So today, I want to encourage you guys to chase after your dream. I need you guys to stand up with me on this part, guys. Come on, everybody stand up right here. All right, here we go. I need you guys to say this part. No matter how many times I fail. No matter how many times people talk about me. I like the choir over there. Yes. I'm going to make it. It's in me. It's in my DNA. I will be successful. So chase after your dream, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm excited, guys. So, they give me a